Sabrina Ionescu channeled her childhood competitive spirit to raise the bar and set shooting records that even Steph Curry can't touch. However, even though she broke Curry's record, she did so with some different rules. So is she really better than him? How did a young girl from Walnut Creek, California become the best three-point shooter in the world? When her father, Dan Ionescu, escaped from Romania during the 1989 revolution and came to America, the only thing on his mind was his family's safety. Thankfully, the family ended up settling down in the Northern California region, where Dan owned a limousine service company. Sabrina was born on December 6, 1997 in Walnut Creek, California. And 18 minutes after her twin brother Eddie would come into the world too. Sabrina called Eddie her built-in best friend. The two were inseparable even before they were born. They grew up together, had the same friends, played the same sports, and were ultra competitive. That competitive streak would come in handy later in Sabrina's life, but as a kid she would always compete with her brother in everything. This even includes chores, homework, and who could finish their dinner first. Eventually, Sabrina found a little orange ball that would become her competitive energy source. Basketball obsession. Sabrina's goal was never to play in the WNBA. Instead, like all siblings, all she wanted to do was beat her brother, but that often left her in tears of frustration. I started to play basketball at the age of 3, though I was just throwing the ball around. I gained a lot of experience playing on my brother's 10-foot hoop. I used my older brother as inspiration to keep improving. Playing him was not always easy, but I do improve because he's harder to play. Now, the thing about passion is that the harder you have to fight for it, the more you come to love it. And that was Sabrina's experience, as she would have to fight tooth and nail against her brothers to get a fair shot. There'd be fights. It'd be pretty intense. If he won, we'd play again. Regardless, if I had to be home for dinner at 8, we'd play till 9, until I would win, and then I'd be like, alright, we can go home now. Now that is a true baller mentality, as everyone knows. You can't leave the court until you make your last shot. It was these early days that influenced Sabrina's style of play. Because she had to fight for everything, it made Sabrina a relentless rebounder, passer, and shooter. And most of all, built her incredible engine that never broke down or quit. Soon she began to reap the rewards of this repetitive behavior. High school phenom. Sabrina considered herself a natural-born scorer, but the game of basketball depends a lot more than simple shooting, a lesson that she learned the hard way. When I was younger, I was always playing with the guys, and I had to find ways to get the ball because they never wanted to pass to me. So I figured that if I could rebound, I would be able to get the ball myself. Then passing-wise, when I was in 6th grade playing with the 8th grade team, I was obviously a lot shorter, skinnier, smaller than they were. I would just have to find ways to impact the game other than shooting or scoring, and that was passing. Nowadays, many up-and-coming players choose to team up together and create super teams in the AAU system. But in doing so, they water down their competition and never truly get pushed. But it was the opposite for Sabrina. She sought out people who were bigger and better than her and competed hard against them. In doing so, she ended up developing an untouchable skill set. In her senior year, she led her school to the CIF Open Division title game after averaging 25.3 points, 8.8 assists, 7.6 rebounds, 4.5 steals, and 1.3 blocks per game. She posted a triple-double in the championship game, although she did come up short of the grand prize. She received almost every award and honor under the sun. She was also named a McDonald's All-American and Jordan Brand All-American selection. She would also go on to win the McDonald's All-American Game MVP. Sabrina ended her high school career with a career win-loss record of 119-9 and a school record 2,606 points scored. She is also the all-time leader in assists, steals, and triple-doubles. In addition to the career record, Sabrina also held the Miramonte top 3 single-season scoring records and holds the single-game scoring record of 43 points and the single-game record in assists with 19 assists. Yeah, she was a bona fide superstar in high school, but when you raise the bar so high, it can be difficult to reach it again. However, what Sabrina did next set a completely new standard for women's basketball everywhere. College career. Sabrina's life revolved around basketball and her family, but now she had to choose between her family and basketball. As you can imagine, a ton of colleges came asking for the elite score, but she had her list narrowed down to either Oregon or Washington. Her decision to go with Oregon was in line with the pattern of her life. She always did what was difficult. She chose to battle her brothers. She chose to play against people older and more skilled than her. And now she was choosing to go to Oregon because the school is in desperate need of someone like her. And Sabrina could envision the impact she could have there. The vision of creating something where there was nothing. By committing to Oregon, it also meant that she would be living apart from her twin brother, who stayed in the Bay Area and enrolled at City College of San Francisco. Sabrina would have to embrace the uncertainty and fear she felt, and in doing so, she became a leader of the Oregon Ducks immediately. It is her ability to handle pressure and adapt that has made her such a success. And adapt she did. Before coming to college, she had never run a ball screen, but that was what the entire Oregon offense was based on. She went from having the ball stolen from her all the time in practice to a 1.93 to 1 assist to turnover ratio, which was the second best in the Pac-12. At the end of her freshman year, she was named Pac-12 Freshman of the Year and unanimously selected for First Team All-Pac-12 and Pac-12 All-Freshman Team. Additionally, she was awarded the USBWA National Freshman of the Year. Following her second season, Sabrina led the Ducks to their first Pac-12 championship since 2000. She was named the winner of the Nancy Lieberman Award as the top Division I women's point guard after the season and was also a finalist for the Naismith Award. She was already well on her way to becoming one of the world's best players, but what she did next made her a true legend. Historical feats. Sabrina was on her way to make history, but her college story would ultimately end in heartbreak. The buzz around Sabrina only grew from one year to the next. However, she didn't let the hype get to her head. Instead, she focused on the task and slowly began etching her name into the history books. On December 20th, 2018, Sabrina recorded her 13th triple-double in a game against Air Force and broke the NCAA triple-double record for both men's and women's basketball. She also broke the Oregon women's basketball assist record. Despite not winning the championship, Sabrina was given the John R. Wooden Award and the Wade Trophy as the best women's college basketball player in NCAA Division I in her junior year. However, despite being eligible to play in the WNBA, Sabrina returned for one last year to help Oregon win a national title. Once again, it showed what she was made of. She wasn't the type to run from the grind. She had come to Oregon to win a national title, and she wasn't about to leave without accomplishing her mission. She attacked her senior year with ruthless aggression, and in doing so, she became a true legend. In the second game of her senior season, Sabrina surpassed the 2,000-point, 800-assist mark for her college career. She also broke Oregon's all-time career scoring record of 2,252 points later that year. She would then go on to break Oregon State and NBA star Gary Payton's Pac-12 all-time record of 938 assists. She also joined Courtney Vandersloot as the only player in NCAA men's and women's basketball history with 2,000-plus points and 1,000-plus assists. And just 10 days after that historic feat, she became the first NCAA player ever with 2,000 points, 1,000 assists, and 1,000 rebounds in a career. Sabrina would win nearly every award to close out her senior season, but her mentality was never about the individual accolades. She dreamt of team success, and that's where everything fell apart. Due to the pandemic, she never got the opportunity to play for the title. Ultimately, she had to leave college without realizing her dream, but that only lit a fire under her that was continued to burn hotter and hotter ever since. New York's biggest star? Many college stars fail to translate their game to the pros, so everyone was wondering how Sabrina would do in the WNBA. On April 17, 2020, the New York Liberty selected Sabrina with the first overall pick in the 2020 WNBA draft. In her second WNBA game, she recorded 33 points, 7 assists, and 7 rebounds in 34 minutes of play. Safe to say that Sabrina's game translated. However, her first season prematurely ended due to a grade 3 ankle sprain. But like all great players, she took that minor setback as an opportunity to create a major comeback. The very next season, she recorded her first triple-double and lived up to her nickname, the Triple-Double Queen. She became the youngest player in WNBA history to record a triple-double. It was also the first Liberty triple-double as well as the 10th in league history. However, more than triple-doubles, what really got everyone's attention was her lights-out shooting. Breaking shooting records. This is the part that you have all been waiting for. Just how did someone nicknamed the Triple-Double Queen go from that to becoming the best three-point shooter on the planet? Since her college years, Sabrina has earned the respect of her peers and even NBA legends. Steph Curry and Kobe Bryant were two of Sabrina's biggest supporters. Curry even said, quote, "She's a legend in her own right, that's for sure." But her idols have become her rivals now. When Sabrina participated in the WNBA three-point contest, no one was questioning who the best shooter on the planet was. Steph Curry was the automatic answer. But after the contest was over, Sabrina's name was on everyone's mind. It's because after missing her first shot in the final round, Sabrina quickly righted the ship and made 25 of her final 26 attempts, including a stretch of 20 straight makes. She finished with 37 points, shattering the previous held record of 31 from Curry. Not all NBA what-ifs can be answered, as we'll never see Jordan's Bulls face off with the Warriors, or LeBron James match up with Michael Jordan. But one thing we will get to see is Sabrina versus Steph in a three-point contest, as the two are set to have a shootout at the NBA All-Star Weekend. But for a kid who just played basketball because her brothers like to, Sabrina has come a long way. Not only has she carved out her own path, but has raised the standards of women's basketball. And the scariest part of it is that she's not even in her prime.